Welcome back to Couch Potato Radio here on the Mighty 790 KFGO, part of our Twins organizational road trip here, and we are in Fort Myers at Hammond Stadium, and oh man, batting practice is going on. It's so much fun to hear. They got games going on all week, and with us right now, by the way, it is fueled by Dean's Bulk Service, big enough to serve you, small enough to know you. Marshall Kellner's with us, part of, he pretty much does it all here. When you're in your role, that's pretty much minor league baseball, right? Media relations, and you kind of handle a lot of different duties here.
Yeah, play-by-play, media relations, kind of like you're the jack of all trades. You have to wear a lot of hats in the minor leagues and some sales too. When you're employed year-round, you have to do sales as well. So a little bit of everything. Yeah,
that's right. A lot of these banners in the outfield and all that, I mean, that's part of the things you do. We kind of have that with our independent league, the Red Hawks. I know a lot of people do that, and they kind of have to be a jack of all trades.
Absolutely. That's just kind of the nature of the game in the minor leagues. And the good thing is you get a lot of experience in different areas. I got into this for play-by-play, but now I've learned the media relations side of things and the sales side of things. So it's pretty cool seeing it from multiple angles.
How competitive is it when you have the Red Sox in town? You're competing for a lot of the same dollars too, right? I mean, that's kind of the interesting part about it. There's and of course you have a minor league hockey team. There's a lot of stuff as far as the sports fan is concerned.
Yeah, during spring training, certainly. But luckily, it's a big enough area that it can support two teams. 3 of the fastest 20 growing cities in America are actually right here in Southwest Florida. Fort Myers, Lehigh Acres, and Cape Coral are those 3. So it's a fast-growing area. During spring training, certainly there's some competition with the Red Sox, but it attracts a different different fans, obviously, from Minnesota are more geared towards here. And also the advantage we have is that we have the 70 minor league games with the Fort Myers Miracle. They don't have an affiliate in this league. So after spring training, it's really here for baseball. But like you said, we catch the tail end of the minor league hockey season as well. So really we compete with any sort of entertainment, whether it's minor league hockey, a night at the movies, what have you. There's the competition there.
It's interesting because I've told a lot of people a couple of years ago I was down here for a spring training, I should say a A-ball game, and it was really a lot of fun, and it wasn't quite the hustle and bustle. And I think for a lot of people who maybe want a vacation, it was a quirky year this year because spring training got done so early. But I said if you go that last week and bleed over and then catch some of the Miracle, it's kind of a nice vacation getaway because you get to see really the planting of the seeds of the future Twin Stars.
Absolutely. I mean, right here, right now, we have 9 of the top 28 prospects, according to Baseball America, in the Twins organization. 8 of those are hitters, so a really stacked lineup, including the number 1 overall pick from a couple years ago, Royce Lewis, the list just goes on. Trevor Larnach, last year's number 1 pick, is here as well. So we actually have 3 2018 draft picks already here, the first and the second rounder, and Trevor Larnach and Ryan Jeffers, and then also Michael Hellman, who was taken last year as well. So it's a fun group, and on paper, really loaded lineup.
Now you're from Minnesota. How many years have you spent down here now?
It's my second year here. Yeah. Yep.
So you kind of feel like you're kind of doing the same thing. You're hoping to work your way up, whether it be like you said, play-by-play broadcasting or somewhere, because the organization's pretty good about hiring within. So.
Yeah, ideal. I mean, that's the goal. I grew up listening to John Gordon and a little Herb Carneal as well. Really, John Gordon was my idol growing up. Sure. I didn't have cable until I was something like a sophomore, junior in high school. Born and raised in Minnetonka, and because I didn't have cable for a while, I just listened to the games. I knew I wasn't going to be a player from a very, very young age, unfortunately. So I had to see what would be the next best thing. And play-by-play has kind of been my path since then.
When you look at it too, it's one of those things where you talk to guys like Corey Provis and the way that he worked his way, and I first heard him with the Cubs, and then of course went to the Brewers and all that. It's not an easy thing, but I'm sure you can relate to that a little bit with these players too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I went to USC out in Southern California for school, and really got my start there on the student radio station. I think a lot of people will tell you that student radio stations.
Bemidji State for me, not quite as big as USC, but
it still works. The experience is still similar, and then right after college, went to an independent team in Chico, California. Went to the Battle Creek Bombers in 2012 of the Northwoods League, so a lot of teams in Minnesota there. We played the Wisconsin teams. My first affiliated team was the Harrisburg Senators, AA team in 2013. I was the number 2 broadcaster there, and our team was loaded there. Our opening day third baseman was Anthony Rendon. We made it all the way to the championship. Had guys like Steven Souza Jr., Blake Trinan was a starter for us, Robbie Ray, among many others, Sandy Leon, if you're talking Boston Red Sox. And then 2015, I was with the Dunedin Blue Jays, actually in the Florida State League. And then past 2 years before I came here was with the Lancaster Jethawks. First year there was a Astros affiliate, and then was a Colorado Rockies affiliate. And then the past 2 years here with Fort Myers. So it's kind of been a long and winding road, but been a lot of fun seeing a ton of amazing players.
Marshall Kellner with us again, voice of the Miracle, and like we said, just so many different things for the A-Ball Club down here at the Florida League. Derek Hansen with you on Couch Potato Radio. Again, we're doing our Twins organizational road trip brought to you by Dean's Bulk Service, and they are, again, big enough to serve you, small enough to know you. You mentioned this, getting through here. Most of us Minnesotans like to come here and then get out of here by this time of year. But you get to be here through the hot summer months. Like you said, you're trying to draw people. I guess, I don't know if we can tuck the pole heads and get in a retractable dome for some of these. But I'm guessing that's one of the challenges. But yet you're still seeing good baseball night in, night out.
Yeah, no question. The Minnesotans, I'm not sure about the summers here for some of
I love it myself.
It's sticky, but it's still a good, any time, especially in the winter, is a great time to come down here. Spring training is the ideal time, mostly in the month of March. But we still have a ton of fun here in the summer and see some terrific baseball in the Florida State League.
When you kind of look at this too with some of these guys, and I almost look at I've talked to Joe Mauer and Torrey Hunter and LaTroy Hawkins about this, is that they looked at their time, in minor leagues almost like they're going to college. They didn't originally go to college like so many of us did, but that's kind of the way they look at it, and I'm sure that's the way a lot of these players look at it too.
Yeah, and then you add in the fact that there's dorms right across the street. And
that's changed a lot since the first time I came here in 2002 too.
State-of-the-art dorms, chef there. A lot of the Miracle players can live in those dorms if they choose to. So a lot of teams that want to build facilities like that look to the Twins, so it's pretty cool.
You mentioned about some of the organizations that you've been with that have changed up a little bit, but that's the one nice thing. This is pretty locked in for a while. Where I was talking a little bit with some of the Pensacola folks, and they just changed from the Twins organization. That's a little bit more topsy-turvy. That's not the case here, which is nice to have that stability.
Yeah, it only makes sense since the Twins have spring training, have their whole complex here that they would be affiliated with us. We just signed a new 4-year player development contract with them, so it's a natural affiliation where some of the others change. 2 4-year deals. So Pensacola was with the Reds, I think, for 8 years. Hopefully they're with the Twins for a while, but those things can change pretty frequently.
Well, it certainly is a lot of fun. Thanks so much for your hospitality. We'll catch up with you soon.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you having me.
Marshall Kellner with us here on Couch Potato Radio. Again, this is our Twins organizational road trip tour fueled by Dean's Bulk Service. Big enough to serve you, small enough to know you. We're live here at Hammond Stadium in Fort Myers, Florida on the mighty 790 KFGO.
Let's see.